Oh boy. There we go. There I am. Yay. Let's move everybody back where they were. Good evening or hi, depending on where you are. um, I'm Sarah Peasley, hand knitter, and this is hopefully Hand Knitter Live, or I'm just talking to nobody. Regardless, it's Hand Knitter Live on Friday evenings. Um, and I'm hoping that there are some new people trying me out to see how Friday evenings go. Nothing ever goes smoothly, so just FYI. Um, oh, hello. Off to a rousing start. Um, yeah. So this is Friday. Friday is the end of the week, right? Isn't it? My watch says it's Friday. It's the end of the week. Sometimes the weeks go fast and sometimes the weeks do not go fast. I think this one went fast. What do you think? Yeah. So I do a Monday live stream from 7, no, that would be ridiculous, from 9 to 9:30 a.m. Eastern. Hi, Audrey. Thank you for joining me. So I do, it's like bookends. I do a Monday live stream, 9 to 9:30 a.m. Eastern time as kind of a getting the week started, have my first cup of tea, um, make plans for the week, which probably don't get done, but this is the Friday side of that where um, we revisit how the week went, not revisit, but we visit how the week went, whether we got things done, try to finish something, make excuses, And Monday gets a tarot card reading. It's a Knitter's Oracle card reading. Although I've realized, I thought about it today, and I think that I focus too much on interpreting my fortune, and I think I just need to interpret a general, completely ridiculous fortune for everyone. So I will try to remember that by Monday, which is 3 whole days away. So I don't know if I can remember it. Um, if you're familiar with my live streams recently, I'm just flailing around. I thought they can't see that, can they? I can just test that. Last week, or nope, not last week, this week on Monday, I lost my hand camera. It stopped working, and that's been a recurring nightmare actually for my live streams because then I can't show you things close up. Um, but I did the Google and I think I figured it out. The answer that was presented is very reasonable, makes a lot of sense. So I did the thing. And so we'll see if I can keep the hands camera the whole time. And if I can, then obviously it's fixed. One example. I'm going to open my bubbles because it's a bubble day. Excuse me. See, there's always a need for bubbles. Okay. Um, yeah, I don't know. Ooh, I love the bookend live setup. This is Audrey speaking. No, it isn't, but I'm, channeling Audrey at the moment. Maybe it works like crowdsourcing your viewers as craft therapists or life coaches. Having a check-in must really help with your productivity. Exactly. That's exactly what it does, Audrey. Thank you for putting it in better words. So my live streaming that I've been doing, I've been live streaming now for, gosh, I don't know when the first one was, but it's well over a year. Might be going on almost 2 years. I've been slowly actually it's kind of stagnant lately, but I've been trying to bring all my Facebook lives over to, well, I did. I brought all my Facebook lives over to my YouTube channel now, but I haven't made them all public yet because I was trying to watch them all and put show notes in, but since I ramble on and on and on, it's a lot of watching, and I'm seriously behind in doing the show notes. Show notes. I call them show notes because somebody else called them show notes. It's just the little notes, the description underneath the video thing on the YouTube, so that if you wanted to know, is this one worth watching? All she talks about is her damn dog, then no, you don't need to watch that one unless you want to hear about the damn dog. Um, I understand that it's National Dog Day or International Dog Day or Dog Day. So love your dog, love your neighbor's dog. If you hate your neighbor's dog, just be nice and ask your neighbor, so how's your dog? And let your neighbor tell you about their dog. That's a nice neighborly thing to do. Um, so, Audrey, to address your statement, crowdsourcing my viewers as craft therapists or life coaches and having a check in. That's exactly what I'm doing. My live streams are holding myself accountable and also connecting with you so that I can get to know you better if you talk to me. If you're just lurking, then I have no idea, but I love you anyway. I don't love you any less if you're a lurker. Well, there's probably an asterisk there. Um, but just trying to, you can get to know me. So if you ever need anything from me, you'll say, "Oh God, not that woman," or you'll say, "Oh my gosh, I need to ask Sarah a question," which I'm here for. I'm here for it. Um, Trying to build, I don't know, a community of like-minded-ish people. Other people are welcome. If you're not exactly like-minded, that's okay. Learning to all get along. I'm doing pretty well. I said something really stupid yesterday. It wasn't mean. It was well intended, but I'm still learning that there are things you don't need to say to people. And so it's the kind of thing that after the fact, you're like, I wish I hadn't said that. That person thinks I'm an idiot now. I'd love to apologize, but that would just make it worse. So we just move on. And I couldn't stop thinking about it last night, so I threw it up there on the social media, and I said, I need to just throw this up there on the social media. And then I still wish I hadn't said it. I still would like to apologize, but won't. The person still thinks I'm an idiot, I'm sure, or at least more of an idiot than I would like them to. But I'm not beating myself up about it anymore. Sometimes you just need to tell people. That's the holding accountable then. Right. And I love OPE. I got the Woven Art sells OPE stickers, OPE, which is a Midwestern thing. And I always thought, oh, Midwesterners, ha ha ha. I was born in Minnesota, grew up in Pittsburgh in Pennsylvania, came to school in Michigan. I don't know why I don't think I'm a Midwesterner, but for some reason I don't. But I say OPE all the time. I just didn't know it until it was, until I saw the sticker at Woven Art. I'm like, oh, I don't use that. Oh. So now on the back of this here laptop is the OPE sticker. Have to embrace my Midwestern. My father's side is Michigan and my mother's side is Illinois. Why do I think I'm not a It's not like I'm disdaining Midwesterners. Is that the right way to say that? It's because I grew up in Pennsylvania, which actually is part of the Midwest, just nobody believes it. Nobody thinks so. So, whatever. If you're here, say hi or don't. It's up to you. Or I'll just talk to Audrey. I want to show you. So Fridays are for finishing, not really. It's nice if we can get things done. I did want to follow up on a thing. So let me. How much control do you give your followers? Oh, thank you. So I wasn't done answering your questions. Audrey, I'll just have you interview me. You just keep me on track. How much control do you give your followers? Do you ever let the internet choose your color palette? Absolutely. Well, yes, I let them weigh in. Let's put it that way. So what I didn't finish saying was that my Monday live stream at the beginning of the week is open to everybody. Anybody can watch, and it's all recorded, and you can watch it later if you don't want to. If you don't want to watch it live or can't, if 9's too early or too late, if you're at work already. And this isn't meant to be an advertisement, but if you're not used to being here on Fridays, then I'll tell you what I do on Fridays. So on Mondays, it's, hi, let's start the week. Everything's rosy and shiny. I'm having my first cup of tea. Here's our pretend Knitter's Oracle reading with the pretty cards with the shiny gold on the back. And then on Friday, usually, like all the time so far, I have a Patreon. What is it? An account? Community. It's a community. And Patreon is I still don't have my elevator speech. I say that every time. Patreon is a way for people like me and like you to support um, fellow people. To say, hey, I like what you're doing. I support you. And then you can put I'd like to hang out and see where you're going to go with this. And you can put a value on how much you support me. So there's an app, it's not an app, a thing called, like, a community called Patreon, Patreon, and you'll find Sarah Peasley Hand Knitter there. And the people that you might follow might be, or that you might be patrons of, might be band members or artists or, knitwear designers, podcasters, teachers, uh, poets, painters, novelists, um, anything really. And it's a way to be there for be along for the ride. So I have, I don't know, 7, 5, 6 tiers set up, um, that you can look at and shop, and you can throw $1 at me every month, and I will give you my undying gratitude. Or you can throw $0 at me and you still get my undying gratitude, but you can't see anything from Patreon. Actually, for each level, I'm going to find a link and put it in the doohickey. For each level that you would support, you get more and more access to me. So Fridays, this is the whole point of the conversation while I do something else, so I probably mess up. So on Fridays, usually my French fry patrons, they each have a lovely name that make me giggle. Um, my French fry patrons and up are welcome to my coming back. There I am. Are welcome in my not that you're not welcome if you're not. Anyway, that's who the Friday live streams are for. So yes, you get to share, you get to help me make decisions. I will ask for advice. You can ask me for advice or opinions, or you can just listen to me ramble, which is what normally happens. And that's how it goes. I don't know if that was clear. So this is what I call the Sunset Studio. This is my second time live streaming from this location. And it's because this is Friday and I'm celebrating finishes and the end of the day. And that is west and the sun is going to be setting. And so you'll watch the sunset across my body. So this is the Sunset Studio. And I do the Monday live stream at the morning studio in the other room that faces east. Okay, let's just move on, shall we? So here, and I've been trying out different backgrounds. This is actually just to see what's, interesting, because I'm streaming to you from the old typing table from my childhood that's a little bit worse for wear. So this is, I've been following, thank you. There is hardly any lighting on, which is how I like it. I've been, shopping the free groups, right? And there was a listing that somebody had free placemats, and they looked, or whatever, and they looked like they were all from the 60s or the 60s or 70s, let's say. And they were right up the road, and I said, I want them. And I was picturing using them as background. So this is beaded, it makes that noise that beads would make. And I think it's really pretty, and I thought it was kind of consistent enough to not be too busy. I'm going to put that there, which is very beautiful, but I just happen to have it close by. And I'm going to put these here. So let's put them over here. I wanted to follow up. See, it's Friday. I'm following up with something I talked about on Monday, which was that I went to the Michigan Fiber Festival this weekend. And it was a lot of fun. I hadn't been for, a couple years. And it was not as crowded. There weren't as many vendors, not as many people, but everything looked fine because the vendors just had more space, I'm pretty sure. And I went with my friend Lisa. She navigated and I drove. She was my co-pilot. And we drove back roads. It was lovely. So on Monday, I was showing some things that I had gotten and telling some stories, I think, about the Michigan Fiber Festival. And I forgot, I wanted to show you this, which is not a purchase because And I don't know, crap. I probably got a card, and all my cards are upstairs. I'm not upstairs. Um, one of the and I don't know that we did it on, well, we must have done it on purpose because I went in every booth, pretty sure. Almost every booth. We knew we didn't want yarn or fiber, but we went in and touched yarn and fiber anyway. We didn't get yarn and fiber unless you could talk about things that have been felted. um, but one of the booths we walked in was pottery, and they had beautiful things. And I ended up um, saying, "Oh, I'm not going to buy any pottery. I don't need pottery. I always need pottery." And there was this table. I'm trying to remember. I often will tell you the same stories because I can't remember that I already told them to you. But there was this table that said free, like things, mistake things or not quite right things. I don't know what it said, but there was a little corner that said free, and there were these three little buttons. And I think, did I show these to you last time? I don't remember. They were called unbuttons or something like that. And the deal is that whoops, where's my camera? Over here. That there's a hole, as buttons have, and then there's not a hole. So this is a reject button. It's okay. This one has 0 holes, that go all the way through. And this one has 1 hole. So I have 2 1-hole buttons and a 0-hole button. And they were just there and sad. Now they're a little face. And I said to the artist, "Are you sure they're free?" She said, "Oh yeah." So I grabbed them and ran. And then I came back and bought a spoon holder. I feel like I told you that last time on Monday. But I love my little non-buttons, my unbuttons. I have a history of rescuing things that aren't perfect. So I have a beautiful bowl that's not straight. It's a little bit wonky, for example. Okay. So that's what I wanted to follow up with from Monday. And then I wanted the thing that I finished, which is not finished, but you can help me. I ask for a lot of help, Audrey. I also spy on the neighbors because my whole front wall is a window. So the Snarkometer. Okay, so we're going to move on to the mystery knit-alongs. I finished I finished the Snarkometer, which is Casapinka's mystery knit-along from last year, which I stumbled into and really enjoyed doing because it's hilarious, because the designer is a cat named Sharon from Security. And I thought I had this was the beginning of it, so you follow clues, blah, blah, blah. And I had chosen yarn. There's a story, but I already told it in other things. And of course, the black is where the lace is. I didn't, I just picked 4 colors and went with it. And I had gotten to here. I thought I'd gotten farther, but that's how far I had gotten, which is pretty far. It was partway through the second to last clue, the penultimate clue. There were 6 clues. There were 20 sections, so they were spread out between the clues or within the clues. But I thought I was farther, but in fact, no, I was not. So from there, I started, I don't know, a week or so ago? 2 weeks ago? I don't think it was quite 2 weeks ago. I would have to go watch all my things. But I kept going, and I did that one, and I did this one, and I did this one, and I did this one, and then there was just one more section, but the cat said, if you want to make it longer, and I'm like, I want to make it longer, then you can go back and do this, this, and this. So I did this, this, and this. Whoops. Why does that look black? Oh, because there's black in front of it. And then I did the last clue, which I messed up. I'll show you. It was, look, I still have my camera. So it was supposed to be, it's a frickin' 2-stitch. Well, it was a four stitches to get, or sorry, 4 stitch repeat. No, let's try again, shall we? 2-stitch repeat, 4 rows, And then you were just supposed to repeat the last 2 rows 4 more times or 8 more times. But I, was watching a movie and I repeated all 4 rows and I got to there and I thought, well, that's as long as it's supposed to be, but I'm supposed to do it 4 more times. And then I read the directions and I was like, I was only supposed to do 2 rows 8 times. But I decided that I was done. Like, okay, we're going to leave it. I'm not going to take it back and redo it. It looks fine. So I'm gonna go through all the little sections with you, and then we're gonna bind off. I have not yet bound off. So that's exciting. We can at least start. But and then the reason I was trying to power through this, one little blue stitch, was because I wanted to start this year's Mystery Knit Along that started August 12th. Oh, there you go. So I went back to this one just before August 12th. It's 2 weeks. A little more than 2 weeks. And I did in fact get it started. Between Monday and Monday we picked out needles on the live stream, and I did get it started a couple days ago. But I'm not going to show that one because it's a mystery knit along, and some people might not be that far, like me. I'm now officially 2 clues behind. It's a 6-week knit along, and we've already gotten half the clues, and I am only partway through the first one. So if you're slow like me, I'm not going to do any spoilers. But there was this fun rainbow yarn. I had black, I had blue. But I'll show you so lots of, she likes, the cat likes Feather and Fan. Then there were stories, there's a story. There's a story from last year and there's a story from this year. And I swear to you that and each section represents part of the story. And I swear to you that these represent cat buttholes, but I don't remember what the part of the story was. But I was like, oh, this is great. And so I'm, of course, in love with doing the Mystery Knit-alongs. This is Tire Tracks. It was serendipitous that they were black. I don't know. Lace. This was Cat Scratch Fever. I remember that one. So that represent, and it hasn't been blocked. No ends have been harmed. So see, if you're not a crafter, you can still listen to all the crap that comes out of my mouth. This was interesting. This is supposed to be a field of flowers that the cat is hiding in. It's very textural. It's kind of visually, but it's see, when it's blocked, it'll be something else entirely. But right now it's interesting. More different kinds of Feather and Fan. Little, I don't know, windowy things. Some stockinette. Those are stripes, but depending on what colors you're using, they may or may not show up. Lace that you can't see. There you go. And then this is more Feather and Fan. And then that was as far as I'd gotten. So since about the 12th, I did this and that. What's this doing here? That, which is, I don't know, interesting. I forget what that was. I don't remember what most of this was supposed to represent in the story. That's kind of cool. I knit this way, so that's why the stitches appear to be upside down. And that was all through almost the end of clue 6 of 6. And then we did more of those flowers, the field of flowers in different colors. And then more of, this was one of the black lace ones, and this time it was in the rainbow colored yarn. It's called Electric Rainbow. Whoops, I'm losing everything. And then this was another Feather and Fan in, I don't know, it was black the other time probably. And then this was the thing I messed up. So let's try to reel that all in. And what we're left with, that I thought you could help me at least get started, except now I'm all wrapped around the microphone cord. Oopsie. Is to get started on the bind off. And the cat said not to use anything fancy. Don't try to be stretchy, just do it loosely. So what I was going to do after I get whoop, rather than try to do it loosely, because that never ends well, was Audrey says she's working on a project that she started on Christmas Eve. Oh, honey, I can beat that. So the shawl actually used 2 different sizes of needles depending on what, stitch pattern you were doing, so I ended on the smaller needle, so I'm gonna bind off with a larger needle. I think that's an easy, way to bind off loosely. And it's said knitwise, I remember. So I'm just gonna, we'll see how long it goes. I also can tell you, what should I tell you? I don't know. My cat is acting weird. Uh, I'll just, for a cat, or maybe not. But she, whoops, let's go over here so you can actually see me. She came, so she stays away from the dog, and, just for good reasons. But she came zooming downstairs from upstairs. That's how one does that. And then zoomed on down into the basement, and I thought, oh, that can't end well. I know her litter box has been scooped. I did not give her her supper yet, but, it's a cat. There's food in her dish. I can guarantee there's food in her dish. So I followed her. I went downstairs, and I'm like, is she peeing in the basement? What's happening? And I found my basement's set up very strangely. There's a little landing at the end of the stairs. There's a laundry room. Then there's a very long hallway that runs alongside the laundry room. And then there are 2 rooms in the back. One of them has a closed door. That used to be my office. And the other one is open. And I found her under a table. And I went to say, what's up? And she ran from me. So I'm like, oh boy, something's up. I don't know. There was nothing wrong down there. I'll go check again later, but very weird behavior. I do not know what was happening. So here we are binding off, which means it's still not finished. I still have to block it and then weave in the ends. And do you see these gaping holes? They are intentional, and they match gaping holes that happened at the very beginning. See those? And I didn't think about them in the beginning too much. But when I go back and look at those directions, when I go back and look at those directions, what the hell happened there? Oh, I dropped 2 stitches. Okay, here, I'll let you watch me pick up dropped stitches. Words. When I don't know what my words were. When I went back to look at, the clues, because it had been a year since I'd read the story, so I read up on the story again, and I thought, I guess I didn't care about it last time, what it meant, the holes, but it says something in the first clue from last year about that there's a secret, and just trust them. What the hell is going on there? Okay, that, maybe. This gets another stitch, and it's a knit stitch, I think. Yep, and this gets another stitch, and it's a knit stitch. This is what happens when you aren't paying attention and your needle falls out in the middle of a bind off row. And then you flail. Okay, and then that might be twisted. Nope, it's not twisted. Oh, purl, purl, knit, knit. Oh yeah, that was ribbing. Okay, I don't know. And there were yarn overs. Oh crap. Okay. Yarn over. All right, there's more to it than that. Hang on. It was, I could look at the pattern. It was yarn over. What do you think? Knit 2 together, knit 2, purl 2. Let's go back. Yarn over, knit 2 together, purl 2. Oh, what the hell? Oh, because I messed up. Yarn over, knit 2 together. Wait, it's knit 2. Okay, because see those little tiny V's in there underneath? Okay, yarn over, knit 2 together, knit 2, yarn over, knit together, knit 2, blah, 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 yarn over, knit 2 together, knit 2. Okay. So the stuff I picked up and ruined all that. So let's go back. This should have been yarn over, knit two together, knit two. What? So this should have been going down a row. Can you see? You can see. Isn't it fun? Okay, so I undid that row for those 2 stitches. So it's yarn over, knit two together, knit two, yarn over, knit two together, whoops, knit two together, uh, uh, and then knit two. And that was a knit. And that one was probably a knit before I bound it off. So I think we're all set. Except my yarn's on the wrong side. Whoop. Okay, are we all set? You guys feel better about all that? You breathing again? Okay. So I'm just going to undo because that's pretty tight from all the fussing. And do a couple stitches. Okay. Boop. All right. Onward. You ready? You can breathe again. All right. So knit, bind off. All right. What were we talking about? I have no idea. Oh, my cat being weird. So I'll have to go downstairs and see if she did anything she wasn't supposed to. You know, she just wants attention because the dog's been getting all the attention because her blood work is wacky, the dog. So, hug your dogs. The other thing that we can talk about is on Tuesdays, my black tea patrons and above, most of my Patreon tiers are named after drinks or liquids. The first one is called H2O. And you get the H2O patrons get my undying gratitude. I'll do the rundown and then I won't talk about it anymore today. The second tier is bubbly water. Whoops. Because I like bubbly water. And that tier gets... Is it bubbly water that gets the poles? I think it is. And then the next tier, so Tuesdays they put out a poll, and then the poll ends right before the Friday live stream. So I haven't looked at the results yet, so we need to do that still today. And then the next tier is black tea, because black tea is the elixir of life. Although I'll tell you, iced coffee is coming in for a close second there. I'll have to have another tier, an iced coffee tier. But the black tea and up, I write a blog post on Wednesdays about how the middle of the week is going, speaking about accountability. And yep, that's black tea. So the black tea also gets to see the polls and the polls. And then the next tier is French fries, and French fries get to have a Friday live stream, which looks exactly like this, plus the things from the other tiers below. And then after French fries, we have hot chocolate, which gets a monthly Zoom along, monthly 2-hour Zoom along, second Tuesday of every month from 12 to 2. So it's a good Eastern, so it's a good lunchtime thing. And then Cafe Mocha gets a weekly Zoom along, also 12 to 2 on all the Tuesdays. And then Verner's gets mail every month from yours truly. So those are the tiers. Oops. How are we doing with binding off? Besides the fact that I just split a stitch, which is always a pain in the ass, because you need to get all the... Ooh, I think I got it. I'm about halfway maybe. So let's talk about the poll. This week's poll was, and so they're very important polls. Sometimes I ask questions like, what should I do? And sometimes it's a getting to know you poll. And lately it's been the getting to know you poll. So very important questions. Like last week it was, what's on top of your whip pile? And I gave a few choices and an other. There's usually an other so that you can fill in the blank. This week, and sweater was the big winner, I believe, for what was on top of your whip pile. This was on top of my whip pile, the Snarkometer. And at least I think it was. I don't know, I don't remember. And then this week, the poll is, when do you find that you have the most energy? Because my schedule is all out of whack. I never have enough energy. But sometimes I get up in the morning and do all the things. And sometimes I don't get around to doing any of the things till noon. And sometimes, I mean, I would say I'm a night owl, but that doesn't mean I'm productive or have energy then. And so those were the first three. Are you an early bird? And then or a night owl. And then I couldn't think of, like, is there a cute little animal for somebody who has all their energy in the middle of the day? So I thought about it for a little while and I decided that that would be called a high nooner, which is different from like an afternoon delight, in my mind anyway. So I said, are you an early bird, a high nooner, or a night owl? And then I added two more. One was burning the candle at both ends. And the last one was, I don't even have the energy to answer this stupid poll. Which aren't times of day. I get that. But, you know, I was going for the funny. We are almost done binding off. High nooner. Thank you. Thank you for answering the poll. So the polls are on Patreon, and they're available to, I think it's bubbly water and up. So when I get to the end of this bind off row, which is there, we will look at the answers for the poll from this week. Isn't that exciting? So we're finishing with asterisks. Like, it still needs to be blocked and it still needs to have the ends woven in. So not done. Dun, dun, dun. And when I block it, I think I have to be a little careful because the blue yarn, the blue was coming off in my hands as I was knitting, and especially where it's right next to the not blue yarn, but it has some blue in it, so maybe it's okay if it kind of runs over into the, it was a gray. I saw it as a gray. I forget what it was called. But I have the labels here. I'm afraid to put my stitches down. Let's see what the labels say. I think I have them here. I've told you all this before. Ah, that's it right there. Killing Me Softly is this silvery one. Madeline Tosh, Merino Light. Electric Rainbow, there we go, is the rainbow one. Same Madeline Tosh, Merino Light. The blue one is Ocean from Lady Dye Yarns. And the black is Onyx from Tosh Merino Light. So that's my 4 yarns. The Ocean and the Killing Me Softly. So these two actually were in the kit that I got at the very beginning, in the early days of COVID, when Woven Art was on when everybody was on lockdown. Oh, I never finished that story, Audrey. I'll tell you in a sec. Thank you. This is how it works. I just wander. Um, See, now I already forget what I was just saying. Oh, the Breathe and Hope shawl kits that Meg put together at Woven Art. That was one of the first things. That was a Casapinka pattern too. She's very big into Casapinka, the designer, whose name is Bronwyn something, is very into helping out your local yarn shop. So she always, um, for local yarn store days, she always has a pattern that's free with purchase of yarn from your local yarn shop. And at the beginning of COVID, she put out a free pattern called Breathe and Hope. And Meg kitted it up with yarn that was in the shop. And a lot of people bought the kits. And I was one of the people who started the shawl and didn't see the beauty in it. It really needed to be finished and blocked to see the beauty in it. But I did not have the patience. So I did some of it and then I was like, I'm not going to finish this. So I don't remember if I had taken it out or if it was still a shawl when I decided to do this mystery knit along. And I already had the electric rainbow yarn. So hilariously, I bought a skein of black as if I didn't have any, which of course I have some. And then those are the yarns I used for this mystery knit along, called the Snarkometer, in case I didn't say that out loud, which is hilarious. So there you go. Almost done. So excited that you're keeping me company for this. The holes, thank you, Audrey, for bringing me back to that. The holes, it's the Audrey and Sarah show, everybody. If you talk to me, I will talk to you. That's how it goes. The holes, so it went back to clue 1 where it said, just do it. It's a secret. And then, but you don't know what's happening. And then at the end, Sharon the cat said, "Do you remember how I said this was a secret? Okay, well, nothing to see here. Please move along." And didn't say what the deal was. Just had you do holes again. And because it had been like, a year in between, that's part of why I went back and hi Henry. You need to go to bed, but I am happy to tell you hello from Sarah on the live stream. Everybody say hi to Henry. People are yelling, "Hi, Henry," from their houses. Yay. Thanks. Yes. I'll be going to bed shortly too. That's what happens at the end of the day with the sunset. And then, so clue 6 was the last clue, back to the story about the holes. Clue 6 was the last clue. So this is clue 6, or this is section 20 at the end of clue 6. And then there was clue 6, there was a clue 6 something. I'll look in here because I'm going to look up the poll results too. Oh, post clue 6, clue 6 bonus. Let's see what it was. What does this look like? Ooh, you can see the angle. All right, let's give it a shot. How quickly can I find it? Let's see. Good reader. That's kind of cool. It's thinking. Okay. Oh. Clue 6. Okay, so I don't have it open. It was clue. Snarkometer. Deep 6. It was called clue deep 6. See, so here's one of them, Sharon from, this must be Sharon from security because she's displeased. And then this cat is in the doghouse. I don't remember the story, but they're actual cats so clue deep 6 was after the whole knit along was done. And clue deep 6 had a video. And I don't know if there's also, no, it was a video you had to go watch. So that was fun. Deep 6. Yeah, I'm not able to find other pages. So you had to go watch the video. And in the video, she added fringe. So that was kind of cool. I'm not adding fringe. So if you go to the Snarkometer in Ravelry, Oh, I don't have that anymore. If you go to the Snarkometer in Ravelry and look at the pink one that's on the mannequin, that's the one that she made, it has fringe, different colors of fringe on either side. I'm not a fringe person. I would have considered it, but this is made with singles, which are not twisted. They're just strands that aren't twisted together, right? And it wouldn't hang really nicely. So yeah, fringe holes. Can you believe it? I mean, like she knew. She probably. I mean, it's probably all done before she starts the dang knit along. But yeah, they're fringe holes. So you could do anything you wanted with those, really. I mean, you can't like make spaghetti with them, probably. Oh, actually, you probably could. But anyway, they're supposed to be fringe holes. So here's Snarkometer, not blocked and not woven in, but I'm very happy. And thank you for keeping me company while I bound off. I saved that for you. I went ahead and started. Sharon Air, which is the next knit along. Oh, that's not it. I went ahead and started Sharon Air because I wanted to start it. I'm not going to show you. I'll show you a little teeny. This is all flowers, but there's a pretty yarn and there's a black yarn. I'll show you that. So I'm pretty excited. It's showcasing that really pretty yarn I got that was called, what's happening behind me? May 22 was the color of a Ba La Jolla yarn that came in that I just fell in love with. So that was the basis for that knit along, which I'm almost done with Clue 1. That's a lie. That's a lie. I'm not even halfway done with Clue 1. I've been trying to stay up really late, and that means I've been not getting enough sleep. Today was a caffeine day. I like it too. Yeah, so I made it longer. It needs to be blocked so it'll get longer, but I added, oops. I added from, nope, that's the beginning. Things are hard. Okay, from the bottom of the blue, the top of the white, to here. I added that much. That much. So I added that much. And then as we block it, it'll get bigger. Okay, let's look at the pole, shall we? Here, you can come back and watch me again. Let's see. Nope. Well, if I say plus, nope. So let's just type it in. Boop. It did nothing. All right. Let's try. Why did it do nothing? Oh, there we go. It's sideways and then it turns around. Isn't that weird? Oh. Okay, I thought we were having issues. It kind of freaked out. All right, so if we go to right here. So here, that's part of the blog post from Wednesday, sneaking by. And here's the poll. So I called it Zippity Doodah. When do you think you have the most energy? Are you an early bird, a night owl, a high nooner, burning the candle at both ends, or lacking the energy to answer this stupid poll? There were 6 votes. Oh, look, I didn't do it on purpose, but you can sort of see who the winner is. There were 6 votes total. If I hit that download results button, I can see, only I can see it, except besides all of you. It'll tell me who voted. I don't need to know who voted. And I had a lot of fun choosing little pictures to go with. So the early bird is a worm and a bird. And a night owl is a moon and an owl. High nooner kind of had me stumped, but I did a big sun and then the action clacker thing for a movie, because high noon is a movie, in case you hadn't figured that out or remember that. Burning the candle at both ends, I have a candle and a dynamite stick. And then lacking the energy, I have a snail and a sloth. So that was fun to pick out. And here's the answers. I don't know. I can't do math with, percents of like 6. I'm guessing that one person said high nooner. Besides you, Audrey, that brings it to 2. And I'm guessing that 5 people said early bird. That's what I'm guessing. I mean, I think that's how the math works out. My answer is that I would say I'm a night owl. Um, but that doesn't mean I have energy then. That's just when I like to be alive is at night. I just, my whole neighborhood goes to bed. The neighborhood across the back, all the lights are out. Even the street light goes out. It's probably because there's a tree, but um, I just really like the night. Look, I matched the artwork. It's pretty cool. That is part of what so we finished something. I mean, I'll probably weave in some ends with you later. So I'm going to see if this works. Whoops, if I don't rip it. Let's see. Yay! Yay! Celebrate! Hooray! Cheers! Hooray for you. That's for finishing. That's for binding off. But that's for all of us. Whatever you did this week, yay for you. And then, what else did I write down? I do have one more thing. Yep. Okay. The one more thing is the other thing I'm starting to finish. One of the classes I've been teaching for stitches repeatedly is a finishing class, and it's for the stitches events that take 2 weekends, and they are it's 5 sessions, so 10 hours, 5 2-hour sessions, and we make a little sweater, but the whole point of the sweater is that you learn things along the way that make finishing easier. So this isn't coming up, it actually just ended recently. This has been the sample. It had some buttons and it never did have the ends all woven in, but I made enough changes to it that I've been putting a new one together. So that's the other thing that I'm finishing, but not today because I'm not close enough, is here we go. This little sweater. So the colors are different. This is, can you name that yarn? I'll give you a second. But I'm putting in the second sleeve. So this green sleeve was done from the bottom up and then sewn in, and this one's done from the top down, no sewing. The shoulders were done differently. All kinds of stuff is different from area to area, but I'm finishing this so that I have a new finished sample, and then I have all these pieces again that I use when I teach the class to sew everything together. And I may make another set to just have not put together, but I don't know. So I took this to the stitch out on yesterday, which was Thursday, and I picked up those stitches and I knit that much. Stitch out that was the last stitch out for the summer series, I guess, of stitch outs that Woven Art and Seams hosted in East Lansing while they had the road blocked off. We took over part of the blocked off road, and last night was the last official one of those, because they being the city of East Lansing are reopening the road after this weekend, or after Tuesday. I understand. So we, being Woven Art and Seams, are trying to figure out an alternative location so that we can keep going. The shop, Woven Art's being rearranged. Seams does not have the room. Woven Art's being rearranged, and we hope to have room for some in-person things going forward, but not yet. So we're thinking about some places. There's a tiny little park across the street from the shop. I think that's a good option, but we have to wait for Meg to get back from being away. And I will remind you to hug your dogs, hug your cats, say hi to your birds, whatever you have. And honestly, if your neighbors have pets, ask them how they're doing. Just connect with your neighbors. Everybody likes to talk about their pets. People keep asking me how old Clara is, and I keep saying, I don't know. And then I'll look it up, and then the next person will ask me, I'll say, I just looked it up and I don't know. I think she's 13 or 14. We don't really know because she was a rescue that I rescued. And I think she was rescued before the rescue that I rescued her from. I didn't rescue, well, anyway, this is at least her 3rd or 4th home. So I don't know how old she is. Nobody knows how old she is. So hug your dogs. I'm gonna end. I don't have anything else to say except hug your dogs. And then I don't end well because I've never figured it all out. But that's what I'm going to say. All right. So let's see if I can end it well this time. Bye. Thank you for joining me, especially if you are here for the first time. And I will also say on the YouTube somewhere there's a subscribe button. I'd be thrilled if you would subscribe. You don't ever have to watch another one. You don't have to get any notifications. But if I just get 945 more subscribers, I'll be at the next like achievement, the next unlocked achievement for YouTube. So I only need 945 more subscribers. Will you be one of them? So that's my question to you. Okay. I'm going to end. Here we go.